Max Verstappen well on his way to win the championship.
Quadzilla, quad father, I don't know. He's got massive quads.
And the owners were quick with the sack.
This past weekend was the Dutch Grand Prix, and myself and Papa Slabs are lucky enough to be there live at the event. It was an absolutely tremendous time. There was so much of the Orange Army out there, the Dutch fans cheering on Max to win. Fun time. We got to talk to a lot of different Formula One fans, share cards with them. It was a great time, and we have that massive video dropping tomorrow on Friday. So be sure to watch out for a Formula One vlog from the Netherlands. Super exciting time, and there is Max right there. Maybe not from this exact Dutch Grand Prix, but you will be able to see a lot of video clips of him racing and others in the video from tomorrow. Now, to get on with the episode, Max just won his second in a row Dutch Grand Prix. I believe that last year returned for the first time in a while at Zandvoort, and he did get the W. He got on pole on Saturday by 0.02 seconds, is actually the smallest margin of pole position this season versus Charles Leclerc. And then also we had a sale here actually on September 4th, the night that he won, for a different card here, not normally the ones we talk about, but this is the Top Trumps PSA 10 from 2016. So from my knowledge, this is actually the earliest card, although it's not really like a pack release card. This is like a card game type of thing that was released of Max from 2016. There's also a Lewis from 2009 that sells for a decent amount. But the PSA 10 went for $3,600, but that is less than sold for on June 25th, $4,800 then. So what I did see is that June 25th sale was pretty much one of the first times we've seen one of these sell. So of course, more people are going to be interested in buying it than when there's a second one that comes up within a few months after that. So that's what I'm attributing this price drop to, because most of his Topps Chrome cards are selling for more than they were back in June, with the second championship pretty much on lock right now. And then on the flip side, we have Lewis here, who's actually fighting for pretty much his first win of the year. He has podiumed in multiple races and got second in multiple races recently over the last 7. But this really felt like the first one that he was in contention to win. He actually seemingly could have won the race if it wasn't for Yuki Tsunoda's DNF, which brought a virtual safety car, which kind of gifted Max a free pit stop, because Lewis wasn't on a one-stop strategy. Max would have had to pit again, and Lewis probably had like a 13-second cushion if that virtual safety car did not happen for him to try to win the race with maybe like 15 laps left it was. But his 2020 Topps Chrome Orange 70th PSA 9 portrait, so for $2,500 on September 6th, which is a few days ago, and that is way less than it was back in February. There was a lot of hype coming into the Formula One season, a lot of hype at the start of the season, with Mercedes really underperforming, especially the first half of the season. They're getting a lot better now, and they're actually, in my opinion, going to be in contention for races the rest of the season. Let's hope, other than Lewis having to take a power unit grid penalty this race at Monza this week, so he will start from the back of the grid. It'll be fun to see what he can do, but I do think that they will be in contention for wins. So maybe anyone that did buy Lewis over the last month and a half or 2 months might have been a really good call. We happened to pick up a variation refractor, a super short print at the National, and I felt it was a good time to buy. I'm really happy we did. We are looking to sell if we can based on him winning a race, obviously, but wouldn't really be mad about holding it too at the same time in case the rest of the season does not get increasingly better from here, which I do think it can. But I do think next year will be a lot better for Mercedes as they turn their attention developing that car for 2023 as well. So an update in the standings: Max Verstappen well on his way to winning the championship. He's 109 points clear of Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez. And then also George Russell sitting there in 4th and Carlos Sainz in 5th. Lewis Hamilton in 6th. And then if you look at the team standings, Red Bull is pretty much blowing out the field in the Constructors' Championship 2. This will be the first time they win in, I believe, 9 years. It was 8 straight for Mercedes. And then also Ferrari is getting really scary hours for them. Mercedes is getting increasingly closer in the standings, only 30 away. And I do believe that they're going to overtake them for the Constructors' Championship this year, as they have pretty much, if not already closed the gap, and it's more reliable, less, failures in the pit stops and strategy blunders and all that stuff. Although a little bit of a strategy blunder with not letting Lewis and George try to block Max this past weekend. So Monza is this upcoming weekend. 2 years ago, Pierre Gasly got his first race victory. Amazing to see him win a race, honestly, when the field is dominated by so many top cars. Coming with the midfield car, it did help with Lewis having a penalty in that race. But either way, getting his first victory there in Monza in 2020. And then last year, Charles Leclerc won at home for Ferrari, that is, at the Italian Grand Prix. You can see how all the fans are loving it. The tifosi, as they call them, going crazy. But not going crazy right now is his card market. As the teams go, the cards go for the drivers pretty much. And as you can see here with Leclerc's PSA 8 purple out of $399 dropping, like 30% in the last 6 months, last 3 months, and even more in the last month. It really matters how well your team is doing, because Leclerc is still an elite driver, has not made many mistakes this year, probably like 3 that I can remember vividly. And he has not gotten worse, really, maybe even only gotten better as the team is performing worse. And his market is still dropping.
What's up, everyone? Today for baseball, I want to talk to you about 2 players. And so you can see here the StatCast rankings here. This is one of the players. And you can see on the screen, average exit velocity, 71st percentile, hard hit percentage, 72nd percentile. This is a pitcher, by the way. Expected ERA, expected weighted on base average, 95th percentile. And on and down the line, expected batting average, 97th percentile, expected slugging, 96th percentile, K rate, 99th percentile, whiff rate, 95th percentile, fastball velocity, 97th percentile of all MLB, extension, 94th percentile. Clearly, whoever this pitcher is having an amazing season. So I want you to take a moment, maybe pause right here, and take a guess at who this pitcher could be. Now we're going to show a second player, and this is a hitter. Max exit velocity, 88th percentile, hard hit rate, 79th percentile, expected weighted on base average, 82nd percentile, expected batting average, 90th percentile, expected slugging, 87th percentile, barrel percentage, 75th percentile, sprint speed, 94th percentile, outs above average, 90th percentile, and outfielder jump, 86th percentile. Clearly a good hitter with a good fielder. In the middle there, the stats I didn't read off, his eye at the plate, K percentage, 28th percentile, walk percentage, 8th percentile, whiff percentage, 23 percentile, also not good, and chase rate, 4th percentile in the entire MLB. So clearly a good hitter that doesn't have a very good eye and is a good outfielder. Do you know who this is? Take a moment to pause and see if you can guess who this is before I reveal who they are. Well, if you know your baseball or you are a fan of the Braves, well, number 1 is Spencer Strider. Quadzilla, quad father, I don't know. He's got massive quads. Dude is a stud. He does only have 2 pitches, so I do worry about him in the future. He's only thrown 120 innings. 120 innings this year to a tune of like a 2.63 ERA. Baseball Reference is not working for me right now, or else I'd pull that up for you. But he is pitching very well. He is near the top of the league in strikeouts per 9 innings at 13.65, I believe. All things good. All things good for Spencer Strider. And he is one of the top names this year for NL Rookie of the Year. One of 2 names. The other guy on this list, Michael Harris Jr., the outfielder for the Braves, is hitting really well, hitting over 300, hitting over 500 slugging percentage. But of course, he is striking out a decently large amount and walking significantly lower than league average. So some concern there. Red flags for Spencer Strider. Only a 2-pitch pitcher. He throws his changeup 5% of the time. He throws his fastball and his slider 95% of the time combined, with his fastball taking up a large portion of that. Now, you can do that when you have an 80-grade fastball, but there is some concern there that he will inevitably need to refine that changeup if he wants to continue pitching at this level. Not going to say he won't be able to pitch at this level with 2 pitches, but generally that is the case. Michael Harris, the concerns there, but man, he is an amazing outfielder who is hitting really well, who is making good contact when he makes contact. His BABIP is a bit high. It was at 3.81. Batting average balls in play, so there is concern there. But both dudes are studs, and it's crazy because both guys are Rookie of the Year favorites. There's only a 2-man race in the NL. They're both from the same team. One is a pitcher. One is a position player. I don't know if I've ever actually seen this before, where it's a clear field of just 2, and they're from the same team. This is a Braves team that won the World Series last year, lost Freddie Freeman, and then they replaced Freddie Freeman with Spencer Strider, Michael Harris, and the beat keeps going. The Braves are yet again amazing. They're challenging the Mets for the top of that division, and it's been really fun. I pulled up 2 cards here. You can see the price difference between pitching and hitting here, because a Spencer Strider Bowman Chrome Red Auto, first Red Auto PSA 10, sold for $8,800 September 7th. The same card for Michael Harris, PSA 10, Bowman Chrome Red Auto, Bowman Chrome First Red Auto, PSA 10, number to 5, $28,500 on July 8th. Just goes to show you that while they're both Rookie of the Year candidates, the market does value one position over the other. But they're both really fun to watch, and they both are putting the Braves back in contention for another World Series.
It's Zach from At Premier Soccer Investing, bringing you yet another SlabStox FC 5 at 5 take of the week. Let's get into it. So, obviously, Champions League is back. That's huge, and it's been a good week so far for Americans in the Champions League. First, we're going to look at Gio Reyna at Borussia Dortmund. So, Gio Reyna's been working his way back from injury so far this season. Hasn't really done too much yet in the Bundesliga specifically, but that all changed on Tuesday against FC Copenhagen in the Champions League. Gio Reyna with 2 assists, one to Rafael Guerrero, one to his young player partner in Jude Bellingham. And he played great, and the market is already reacting to it. As we can see from his 2019 Topps Chrome Bundesliga PSA 10, this card is up in just the last 2 weeks, 22.69%. It's up $38.75 from $170 to $209. And this is a card, yes, they're a lot graded. There's a couple hundred PSA 9s, and there's even more PSA 10s. So these do have some quantity to them. But this is a card that can continue to see movement as we get closer and closer to the World Cup, as Gio Reyna regains fitness and is able to show quality and personality in that Borussia Dortmund side in order to stamp a place in the starting 11 for the U.S. men's national team at this World Cup, which if he continues to play like how he did in the Champions League, he will do so. And then, again, just watch out. I've been hammering home this point, but the World Cup will be absolutely massive for soccer cards, especially due to the fact that England is playing the U.S. on Black Friday in America. Come on, that's the biggest shopping holiday of the year. You don't think people are going to be watching that game? They're going to see Gio Reyna, for instance, score a goal, make a run on eBay right there, and there goes his cards up 30% in a day. Stuff like that will happen. You just got to hit the right guys. Another one who it could be is Weston McKennie, another player who's been working his way back from injury. Didn't even get the start in the Champions League against PSG, who great win for them. And Mbappe was absolutely spectacular in that one. Neymar too. But we're going to focus on McKennie, who scored a great goal, great headed goal to pull Juventus back into the match. However, it wasn't enough, but McKennie played well. And again, he's someone who really hasn't seen that much movement, as we can tell from his 2018 Donruss Optic PSA 10. This card was doing $48 in June. It's up to $62 now. Again, a card with a decent amount graded, 259 9s, 244 10s, 573 total. McKennie's more of an interesting one for his card market. It's an interesting proposition. He's a great player, obviously, one of Juventus' key players, one of the U.S.'s key players, but he's a midfielder. Yeah, he scored in the Champions against PSG, but he's not going to score and assist as many goals as a Gio Reyna does or a Christian Pulisic, who we'll talk about later. But he's one of the faces. He might even be the face of the U.S. men's national team at the moment. People love him. He's respected in Europe, and he has room to grow on his cards as well, because he probably will get a key goal at some point in the World Cup with his great aerial prowess. He loves to get forward as well. He's just another guy to watch, and if he can stay fit, continue to play well, Juventus should still be able to get out of their group, so he has that going for them as well. And yeah, McKennie, another guy to watch right there. And then the final one, probably the biggest news of the week, even bigger than the Champions League restarting, is Chelsea sacking Thomas Tuchel after spending over $200 million this summer to build a squad. They struggled a bit the first 6 games, and the owners were quick with the sack. While a lot of Chelsea fans are upset about it, and rightfully so, he won them a Champions League, won them a couple other trophies, had a great connection with the fans. This is a very good thing for fans of Christian Pulisic. Pulisic had fallen almost completely out of favor under Tuchel, was relegated to making 10, 15-minute, 20-minute cameo appearances off the bench. It was not looking likely that he would get a good run of form in, but now he's going to have a fresh start, most likely under Breden's fantastic manager, Graham Potter, who looks like Chelsea are going to be signing. Nothing is confirmed yet, but that's who the next manager is likely to be. He's got a new chance to prove himself, get a run in the team, get some goals in, get some assists, and show what he can do, because right now it's not pretty for him, as we can see from the last 6 months on a 2016 Panini Select PSA 10, down 32%. It's a $162 drop from $505 to $343. But if anyone's going to bounce back and bounce back quick, it'll be Pulisic. He's still probably the U.S.'s most popular player. He's Captain America. He's going to be scoring goals for us. If the U.S. is going to be scoring goals and making a run in the World Cup, it's going to be coming from him. The U.S. runs everything through Pulisic, And if you can get a consistent run of form in for Chelsea, pull them up the table a little bit, make a run in the Champions League, that has the ability to boost his card market as well. But again, for the U.S. guys, if you're buying Americans, it's the World Cup that you are focused on, and you hope they perform and you hope they have run in the side.
In NFL news, number one, happy opening day, if that's what you want to call it. The start of the NFL season is tonight, the Bills and the Rams. And I thought it would be fun to take a little crack at who my Super Bowl winner would be, my MVP, and my Rookie of the Year. So I'm going to share my predictions here. Of course, I am a Packer fan, so if I was being a homer, I would have chosen the Packers to win the Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers to win MVP, and like Romeo Dobbs to win Rookie of the Year. I did not do that. That would be homerish of me, even though I am hoping for at least one of the three, Super Bowl being the main one that I am hoping for. But alas, we're not going to do that. So let me share with you my three predictions from this year. So my Super Bowl winner, I have the Baltimore Ravens. Now, some of you might be like, this dude chose the Baltimore Ravens. Well, let me explain. You might not agree, but let me explain. Defensively, right? Obviously, they were injured last year. Lamar Jackson injured, cornerbacks injured, yada, yada, yada. They had a ton of injuries. But defensively, they drafted Kyle Hamilton with the 14th pick, and they brought in Marcus Williams from the Saints to shore up safety at both positions. Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey are both healthy. They are both Pro Bowl cornerbacks when healthy, and they will be back. So all of a sudden, their secondary, along with Kyle Fuller as a backup, maybe a slot cornerback or a backup cornerback, will be pretty stinking good, I think. Probably one of the better or best secondaries in football would be my guess. So you got that going for you. You have vets in Calais Campbell and Justin Houston, guys that have been around, guys that know how to win, and guys that will still be productive and also be able to teach the young bucks. And you've got young linebackers in Odefa Owe. I'm not 100% sure how to say his first name, but he's a Nigerian-born pass rusher. Yeah, he's a first-round pick, 31st overall. Nigerian-born pass rusher who should be really, really good this year, I'm hoping. And they also have Patrick Queen, another young linebacker that we're hoping for big things from. And so you've got a really good secondary, young linebackers, vets on the defensive line. I think it should go pretty well. On the offensive side, of course, you have Lamar Jackson. If he stays healthy, that takes a lot of the brunt away from what you need to do. And then also you've got J.K. Dobbins healthy, Mark Andrews. They brought in Tyler Linbaum, the best center in the draft, to shore up that offensive line along with Ronnie Stanley. I mean, this offense, while they don't have Hollywood Brown anymore, Devin Duvernay and Rashad Bateman should be young and promising. And so I'm excited for this Ravens team. The defense, I think, should be a little bit better than the offense, but they have Lamar Jackson, which should take up or cure a lot of ills. And so for me, my Super Bowl winner, Baltimore Ravens. My MVP, Russell Wilson. So I think with Russ, getting him to a team with as many weapons as they have with Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy and all those guys will be a huge, huge boom for Russell Wilson. And then also getting him away from Pete Carroll as his coach, giving him Nathaniel Hackett, the Packers' old offensive coordinator, the offensive coordinator that Aaron Rodgers won multiple MVPs under, putting him as their head coach, and now they get to experience that. Russell Wilson, good weapons, no Pete Carroll, Nathaniel Hackett, offensive mind in. I am excited for that, and I am excited to see what happens there. I do think that while this might be a little bit of a stretch, especially because he's going to be playing very difficult teams in his division, that this could be the year Russell Wilson does capture an MVP. All he had to do was get away from Pete Carroll. And then Rookie of the Year, there was a ton of first-round wide receiver talent that you could have chosen from. For me, I'm choosing Treylon Burks, Tennessee Titans. I think that with A.J. Brown gone, if the Titans want to do anything offensively with throwing the ball, no offense to Robert Woods, they're going to need Treylon Burks to step up in a massive way. He's a big body wide receiver, 6'2", 230 pounds. While he's not overly fast, I believe he ran a mid 4.5 40. He has big hands. He is a big body dude, and he apparently is a vacuum when the ball is thrown his way. And so if the Titans are going to have a big year passing, you already know you expect a big year rushing with Derrick Henry. If they're going to have a big year passing, it is going to be because of Treylon Burks. And for that reason, I expect him to become Rookie of the Year. That's all I have for football. Hope you guys really, really, really enjoy the NFL season. I know I'm excited. Can't wait to watch Packers-Vikings on Sunday. And here's to another 18 weeks of football.
Welcome back, everyone, to another Flip Quest 5 of 5 segment here. We are back on the PWCC weekly auction. This is going to be number 34 already, ending Sunday night, 9:45 p.m. Eastern time. You can join our YouTube live for it. And there are, once again, monster football cards ending. Nate, I looked, and there's like at least 50% more football cards ending this week than any other sport, basically, for the parameters I was looking at least, which is, modern cards. And a lot of people, I think, are trying to capitalize on the early season hype. Do you see that too?
If they're smart, they would, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If we've learned anything in the last however many years of doing this, it's that beginning of the season is the time to make money, and then you can buy back in during the season and hope that you guys get hot later on.
It's pretty much inevitable that at least one or two players are going to do extremely well and their markets will increase, but the odds of picking that player are a little bit smaller when you consider how many players are hot right now. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens this year. No doubt about it. Just put up a post asking people who they thought was the first quarterback that's going to drop by 25% or more market value wise. Nate, really quick, any thoughts before we jump into these two cards?
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields, you think? You think this is going to be a very bad start to the year?
Well, this is coming from a guy who liked the idea of Justin Fields because Matt Nagy was gone and then saw the prices of Justin Fields and no longer liked Justin Fields. I think he's still going to have a really rough time outside of Darnell Mooney. Who does he have throwing to him? Or throwing to? And I don't know. First-year offense, first-year head coach, no weapons. I don't think it's going to go very well.
Going to be some growing pains?
Yeah.
Like it. I don't know for sure, but man, Jalen Hurts prices got so hot. He's like a top 5 ranked fantasy quarterback, which I think a lot of people look at fantasy rankings and buy quarterbacks based off of that. But if the Eagles don't win the NFC East or don't perform extremely well, I know he got more weapons with AJ Brown. His prices are just so much more expensive than what they ever were. They're like double to triple the price of what they were last summer, Nate.
That's insane.
It's crazy. And then two of the guys we didn't mention right now, but we will now with these cards here, is Josh Allen and Justin Herbert. I'd say probably two of the most hyped quarterbacks coming in this year for good reason, though. I mean, Josh Allen was one step away from an MVP last year behind Aaron Rodgers. Justin Herbert puts up massive stats. They haven't made the playoffs yet, but they very well could this year.
2 years ago.
Josh Allen?
Yeah. Didn't he runner up in MVP 2 years ago?
Who do you think? No, that was last year for sure, right? Who do you think was runner up last year?
I can't remember. I just thought Josh Allen was runner-up 2 years ago.
No, I'm pretty positive Josh Allen was runner-up last year. Maybe I'm wrong, though.
We'll find out after the video.
We will find out after this, or let us know in the comments, too. But two big second-year cards of Allen and Herbert ending. One's a 1 of 1, a flawless on-card patch auto with part of the Bills logo right there, BGS 9 from 2019 flawless of Josh Allen. And then the other one is going to be a Justin Herbert Gold Kaboom PSA 10, a very nice-looking card, but a second year. Nate, which second-year card do you think carries more value and will into the future?
Oh, that's a tough question because, flawless is nice. 1 of 1 is nice. A little patch of the Bills, nice. But a gold Kaboom's probably going to be around forever. That's a tough call. I think I would be happy with either. I guess if I was going to gravitate towards one or the other, it'd probably be the if that is game worn, the patch on card auto 101 Josh Allen.
Definitely. Let's check really quick because I was actually wondering the same thing. It is game worn of Josh Allen, and I will have to agree with Nate on that. I definitely think that the Josh Allen is the more important card, and as for Nate saying gold Kabooms will be around forever, that's just as long as Panini has the license for specific sports. But I have no doubt in my mind that as long as Panini is making cards, they're going to be putting out Kabooms for whatever it is. Forever is a big statement, Nate.
That was the too massive of a statement. I will agree with that.
Gotcha. Well, both these cards are $8,500 right now. Well, actually, the Herbert's at $8,250, pretty close though, and we'll be excited to see what these end for. Along with all the other football cards, there's tons ending, including a Mahomes flawless RPA, which is insane. It's already at like $25,000+, I think, maybe even more than that. Let me see if I can refresh here and see. It's at $22,500. Pretty exciting stuff though. So make sure to catch us this Sunday night, 9:45 p.m. Eastern time, on the Flip Quest episode here on the SlabStox YouTube Live.